Hey, and welcome, you guys. Thank you for clicking on this video. Before we get started, please do all of the things like this video. Make sure you are subscribed so you can get the latest content. Comment down in the comment section and share your thoughts. Speaking of sharing, share this video. We share your videos because sharing is caring. As I always say, turn on your notifications because sometimes life just be life and you never know. And the Cash App and Venmo are also down below. Your girl's not monetized. If you'd like to hit me with something in the tip jar, please feel free. That being said, dearly beloved, we are gathered here to say goodbye to the brother Joe Goldberg. Oh, he ain't going on the glory nor the hot place. We are just here for you, season 5, to say our farewells and goodbye to this final season. We're just going to see how this goes, you guys. I have a lot of thoughts as it pertains to this show. We're going to talk about that. I'll give you like a quick little recap, breakdown of what happened in season 5. Hopefully you've seen it already. It dropped on Netflix, I believe, April 24th. Fifth and final season. Let's talk about it. So I have always got my little hat on, because, for Joe. I've always had a love for Joe Goldberg. Yes, I am one of the delusional Joe Goldberg fans because Joe is Captain Save him, okay? He is just trying to do the best he can for the people that he loves, okay? And, I feel like that goes unnoticed. That said, because he likes to take people out every now and again. That's just what he does. We've gone through everybody from Beck on, the list goes on and on and on. But I bring up Beck because Beck was our starting point and in season 1, and we kind of go full circle back again to Beck in season 5 because Beck, this is all your fault. I'm blaming it all on you. Yeah, your girl's gonna do it. Now I might add that this is just all in jest. These are just my feelings, my opinions. I'm low key, high key joking because I know what it is. We know at the end of the day that Joe is, a cereal Kellogg's, if you will, on the liver, and that's what it is. And they tried their very best to bring that to us this season. Now, I didn't appreciate it. I felt very, for the Power fans, very Courtney Kemp, what you did to my baby Ghost, even though, Ghost wasn't the greatest man either. But, we like Ghost. But when we got to the end, we got to see a different person. So when we got to season 5, they tried to show us the different Joe, or who Joe authentically was, and I didn't really want to receive it. I'm not going to hold you. I'm just being honest. These are my opinions. If you like, if you don't, please be kind. Just be polite. That's all that I ask. So for 5 seasons, he's been doing his thing. In terms of ranking, I would say season 5, well, let's start with this. Season 4, last season, they did a different formula. They gave us this kind of Clue vibes. They did it in 2 parts. A lot of people checked out after the first part because it was like, what are we even doing here? This is not Joe. But if you stuck around for the second part, it did get better. However, season 4 goes into my last spot out of the 5. And coming into my 4th spot out of the 5 would be this season, the final season, season 5. I was never really a fan of Kate in season 5. And if you remember in season 4, if you remember at the end of season 4, Kate had all this money. She took over her father's company. They were going to get married. She was going to use her name and her weight to clear Joe's name so he can come back to New York. Baby, that was the beginning of the end because Joe should have never came back to New York. So that's 4 and 5. Now, seasons 1 through 3, you can kind of switch them around in any order. Sometimes 1 is my favorite, and then 2 and 3 in that order. Sometimes it's 3 and then 1, or then 2. Kind of switches around. I was low key over Joe when he didn't choose love, because that's what you wanted. Because your men don't never know what you wanted. You wanted love to love you. She loved you. Then she liked taking out people too, but you didn't want to take out people the way she wanted to take out people. Okay, she just wanted to do it all willy nilly. And Joe said he got a formula for this. Okay, there's a way that he does it, and he wasn't with it. But I was pissed off. Okay, that's what you was asking for this whole time, and then you got it, and you didn't want it. Now I know there was a lot more to the story than that, but we're not focusing on that season. We're focusing on season 5. So without further ado, y'all, let's try and get into season 5. So he's still with Kate. They're married. They're back in New York. He is the dreamboat of a husband. He's got his son Henry back from the gay couple over in California, which in my opinion, we should have left Henry where he's at. And he did have quite an impact on this season. So Kate is one of her father's many children. Her father was an ish. He was, a mogul, a tycoon, if you will, big baller, shot caller. We had to get Papa Dukes out of here in season 4. So she's got twin sisters, Reagan and Maddie, both played by Anna Camp. Then she's got a brother, I believe his name is Teddy. He's biracial, the help, if you will, son. And they don't really fool with him, but Kate is cool with him. We got an uncle, Uncle Bob. I don't remember what his name was, child. He had a cowboy hat on. But long and short of it, Reagan and the uncle was trying to get Kate up on out of the company because Kate decides she want to be a philanthropist and things. And that's just not how this family rolled. They wanted her to be cutthroat. So she goes and tells her hubby, Joe, listen, I'm going to need you to get rid of Uncle Billy Bob, right? I know who you are. I know what you do. So Joe, like I said, he's Captain Save him. He does what his wife asked of him, and he like it. He realized how much he missed that ish, taking care of the people he loves. In the whole interim, he's got the bookstore Mooney's. He's about to sell it. There's a young lady, child, what is her name? Bronte, who ends up breaking into the bookstore. Did not trust her from the beginning. Joe is writing erotic, if you will, murder mystery. Okay, we'll put it that way. Because he was fantasizing about the uncle before he did the thing to the uncle, and then she asked him to do the thing to the uncle, right? Reagan, this is of the twins. Reagan is no nonsense, okay? She's married to the husband. Don't ask me what the husband's name is, because I ain't write all the notes down as I should have, but Reagan is married to like a former NFL player, athlete, or whatever. She is Queen Bee Supreme, okay? Nasty attitude. She doesn't give a what. She's a businesswoman. She don't like nobody or nothing, okay? So she wants to get Kate out of there. So this is between her and the uncle, but she already, got her good eye on, she called Joe a simp, baby. She got her eye on Joe, okay? She does not trust him as far as she can throw him, unlike her sister, Maddie, who is calling, Joe her boo-boo, right? Mooney's is still there. That means our little, glass house, if you will, is still in the basement, okay? And Nosy Bronte is trying to get all the information she can. She stumbles upon to it. Okay, this is not in any particular order. I'm just giving you a little freehand. And she's taking pictures and she gets locked in here. Well, he lets her out. That was your biggest mistake, Joe. You should have never let Bronte out. But no, you decide to let her stay in the apartment and all of the things because she's homeless and she's here and she's running from the boyfriend or whatever sob story she gave you. Again, I did not believe it. So Kate decides that she don't like this side of Joe. She doesn't want him to act on it. Meanwhile, Bronte is ba-da-ba-ba-ba. She's loving it, okay? She's loving this Joe. She loves Crazy Joe, and Crazy Joe loves her. So Joe decides that he is going to help his wife out yet again. This time she didn't ask. And he is going to lock her up in that glass house, do what he got to do, right? So he sneaks into the office. She's in there. She about to get it popping with her husband, right? Knock the husband out, lock him up in the storage closet, get baby girl down to the little glass house, only to find out that baby girl is not baby girl. It is not Reagan. It is Maddie. And Maddie was sleeping with Reagan's husband because that was her first love, or maybe not her first love, but she had liked him and he had liked her, allegedly, supposedly, whatever you want to call it. And that baby that they got together, Reagan and the husband, is really Maddie's baby because Maddie was, well, not really. She was a surrogate. So if she used Reagan's, technically it's still Reagan's baby. But anyway. He got the wrong doggone sister. Okay, because Reagan is still threatening folks. They had sat down to the dinner table, baby, and when Henry had threw a fork at that lady, I cackled because Henry hit the cousin, Reagan's daughter, all up in the face because he said that her mom, was an unaliver, right? So we thinking about he talking about love, the real mom. No, she just talking about Kate. But she wants to get Henry out of that school. She wants to get Kate out of that seat. And this is where we go on this wild ride. So eventually, Joe does get, like I said, we skipping around a little bit. He does also snatch up Reagan, put Reagan in there with Maddie, convince Maddie that we're going to replace you and you're going to have Reagan's life, right? Then we'll disappear Reagan, and then you could just slide in there and be with your boo and your kid. That's what you want anyway. She's the beast. She don't really care about nobody. She does the deed and she takes her sister out for him, okay? But it's haunting her. She's not Joe. She's not made for this. Meanwhile, Kate is still trying to handle it in the way she wanted to handle it with Teddy, but Teddy got suspicious, and now Kate decides she don't know who she married, and maybe she might want to, expose her husband because that was a thing. There was an article that was supposed to expose Kate, and we found out that it was Uncle Billy Bob, which is another reason we was trying to get him out of here, and that he was texting the sisters, and they were trying to, overthrow her off the board or whatnot, out of her position. So she decides she just wants to do it the clean way, right? And we're thinking that Reagan is falling for it because it gets exposed when we got to let the husband out the storage closet that he was really sleeping with the sister. But now Reagan is out of here. Maddie's trying to fall into this position. She gets found out, right? So Joel has to make a choice. He decides that, after much persuasion, they say they're not going to tell nobody because the husband was like, he can't do it. But the husband says, he's not going to tell anybody and they're going to live happily ever after. Now, turns out, I can't remember exactly what happened. I'm forgetting something, but I think Joe was just tying up loose ends because he had the tea from Reagan and Frame, the husband. He went to jail. Maddie had went to jail and everything got exposed. Kate is trying to get this baby away from Joe, which, baby, I don't know why you did that. Okay. Meanwhile, he is having this whirlwind romance with Bronte. Bronte disappears. He go over to the crazy ex-boyfriend's house, Clayton. Clayton was a crazy ex-boyfriend. Now, we didn't find out everything we needed to know about Clayton initially, but long story short, she take off into the wind. Joe go after her. He find her. They, make sweet love and do the things that they do because it's just ilk. Never like Bronte. Never like Bronte. Clayton comes in and he got his hands and feet on Bronte, and Joe comes in and unalives Clayton. Is on video, on live, on the clock app or whichever one it was, baby. Okay, because the friends had came in and he knew before then that it was a scheme that Ty had set up to come to him with the BS because Bronte was part of this vigilante crew that was in charge of researching what was going on with Joe Goldberg. Okay, we didn't know exactly why. We knew that she had read Beck's book. They give us a little flashback and we find out now she did clear his name, although the other friends was not trying to clear his name. We find out that Clayton was Dr. Nikki's son. You remember Dr. Nikki was the one that got framed for taking out Beck when it was really Joe. But Beck ended up being Bronte's professor back in the day. And so she wanted to avenge this professor. Baby, did it make sense, child? I guess. Did I like it? No, I did not. So they were just doing years of research trying to take Joe down. So we get to this point. Now, he already knew this, but he decides, he didn't know the part about Dr. Nikki's son, but he already knew that she was trying to take him down, but he somehow continued to put his trust in this woman. That's why I said, y'all playing because Joe don't be doing all this sloppy stuff like that. We're getting caught with the bodies and stuff like that. And he do get caught up with the ladies. He do get caught up with the ladies, so let's not say that. But so now Kate is trying to do what she got to do to get Henry away. And Bronte, she's torn in between the two. But she goes back to Joe. Now, when she goes back to Joe, Kate realizes she goes back to England to let old girl out of jail from last season. And old girl tell her, he was the eat the rich on the liver. No, she didn't. So she helped Joe frame the girl. We get the girl out. There, We are women hear me roar. So now they come back over to the States ready to take Joe out, and they realize they got to literally take Joe out. Marion's still alive. We finally get Joe into that crystal glass castle, okay? Down in the basement. Marion's still alive. She say her piece. Kate say her piece. The other lady that got set up for the crimes back in England, she said her piece. Okay. I thought what was going to happen was Bronte was going to come in to save the day because Kate was throwing up eviction signs on Mooney and everything else. He trying to get money, buy Bronte a castle to write her novels and her plays and stuff. And I was like, I don't know why you're trusting this girl. I don't know why you're trusting this girl, but he's still trusting her. So she circled back around. Bronte, because she has to throw her laptop out the building. She circled back around, and Marion have a little talk with her, and Marion really got into her head. Okay, she got into her head, and she said, "Baby, you know I know how it is to be in love with this man, and that man is loving you, and you don't even love yourself. Okay, baby, I know all about it, but he ain't." Okay, so then the bells go off, right? The bells go off in Bronte's head, and Bronte runs off crying. Kate is like, the other lady, I can't remember her name, they got everything. She's like, listen, I can't do this. We got to take him out. It's taking too long. We got to do what has to be done. She get the thang. She want to, make it sang. So Kate's like, listen, you just got out of jail. I don't want this for you. Marion got her daughter. She's doing well. I'm going to get y'all out of here. I'm going to do it my dang on self. But, Joe had a cut in his arm. He had decided to put an extra key to the crystal castle in his arm. So he takes it out. He gets out. Him and Kate, they gets to tussling. Okay. She poke him. He poke her. I don't know. Folks is poked. Okay. I might have got some of that wrong. But in any event, they down in the basement. Okay. They decided to set the mother father on fire. No, Maddie came in because she got out of the clink. She decided to come by and set the place on fire. Joe tries to get out and she like, no. So he's like, your sister is in here. So he go back downstairs. They're supposed to just go off into the sunset. Okay. They're just supposed to be finished. Vamonos, done. While they're down there, he inadvertently confesses because she's like, oh, here we go. You got another wife going out in the fire. He's like, nah, because, I have really took love out and just kind of, said that's how she went out. She's taping him. I'm thinking, they both ain't gonna make it. Well, originally I thought that Bronte was gonna come through and really be that girl, like Love was that girl, like how Joe needed her to be that girl, and just take them all out and just rescue her baby and go off into the sunset. But she didn't do that. But she did come and rescue him from the fire. Kate stayed down there. We thought Kate was out of there till we got to the end of the series and realized Kate survived. Okay, Kate survived. She did not burn in a blaze of glory, but she sent that recording into the police, and that was going to get Joe out of here. So Joe is about to get him some fake passports and stuff and get out of here. So him and a little honey dip, Bronte, they go on about their business and they're staying somewhere, but she's still plotting to take this man out because Marianne has got to her head. Okay. As she should. I mean, in the real world, I'm with the ladies. I'm for the ladies. In this universe here with Joe, absolutely not. How you let them catch you slipping, Joe? How you let them catch you slipping? And you still going to keep with this girl. So he gets to the house again. She thinks that he's on to her, but they about to take off. He done left his poor son. His son that said that you was the monster that was under the bed. And I know that had to hurt. So she decides she got to take him out tonight. They doing the things that lovers do. And she come up with that, again, that thing to make him sing. Okay. And she's like, tell me how you took out Bet. And I was like, ooh, baby. Okay. So she got a copy of Beck's book when they were at a gas station. She wants him to take out all of his words. So he does that. He goes crazy once he had the phone conversation with his son and realized, I have nothing. Anyway, he goes crazy, fights her for the thing. She gets popped. She run outside. He run outside. It's just a lot of back and forth. It's a lot of back and forth. But for some reason, the girl ain't gone. So he finally catches the girl. She somehow managed to call 911. Don't ask me how, because all I saw was a 9, and then it was a 4, and I never saw a 1. But maybe, I don't know, child, I ain't called 911 on my cell phone. Maybe you just got a $9. Y'all can get that in the comments and let me know. So he tried to drown her in the water. We're thinking she is gone. The cops come, and then all of a sudden, Here she is. Now she pop up with like a flare type of gun, and you and me talking ish, and all of the last things, and holding the thing. Joe said, "Take me out, just take me out. I ain't got nothing left. I don't even care no more. Just do it. It is what it is. I can't live like this. I can't do the time. Okay, Joe needs love. Joe can't be on the inside with no love. Joe can't do it." So she ends up shooting him in his junk, of all things. Cops get him. He goes to trial. Whoop de whoop de whoop. He ends up in jail. I hate it. Throw the whole last episode away. The first 5 episodes are pretty good. I want to say, or 6. When we got to the end, I was like, I don't know where we going with this. The fact that he's still hanging on with this Bronte girl. Everybody else goes off into the sunset. Bronte is like a playwright or something. Again, I don't care. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. Joe's locked up. Kate is alive. She survived. She gets no consequences, of course, which pissed me off. Not you said you was going to atone, and then you end up getting no consequences. None at all. The other girl goes, that was set up for the crime back in London. She ends up being a teacher and I don't know, having all this influence. Everybody, like I said, Harrison, I think, was Reagan's husband. He gets out of jail. Maddie is pregnant. They gonna go off into the sunset. I mean, I was fine with that. Kate, I've never been feeling Kate. Did not like the ending. Y'all get down in the comments and let me know how you felt about it. How did you feel about this being the end to our Joe Goldberg? Did you like Joe Goldberg? Or, I'm just the only delusional one out there that was rocking with Joe for all this time? Do you think that this was justice for him? Now, for him, he can't be alone. So for him sitting in the cell, being by himself, he really wasn't feeling that. Although, just like the rest of them people that be doing these type of things, he's getting notes from the fans. And I love you. And you can do this to me. And you can do that to me. And he said that we are the problem, y'all. I'm not fixing to write nobody in jail. It's just a show. Okay. Because in real life, it's really F you. But, in terms of the show, so I got where he was going because Dahmer and all them other people have had fans writing him in jail. But I'm just curious to know your perspective. It's over. That ain't no more to it. Like I said, I ranked them. This one is number 4 out of the 5. Number 4 is number 5 on the list. And then we could kind of interchange the top 3. It was a good ride. Joe put his little cap on and he act like don't nobody know who he was. And like I said, it all turned around to Beck because Bronte, was a student of Beck. I think she was low-key hockey in love with Beck, and that's what it was. And it just was vigilante justice. I don't know how he let the Scooby-Doo gang take him out, but that's who took him out. And they said they were going to, try to get some more people this way because he wasn't the only one. But yeah, should have never married Kate and should have never went back to New York. Just saying, girl, I blame this all on you. It's been a ride. I never read the book. I know that this was a book. So if you read the book, get down in the comments and let me know, did we stretch this thing out beyond its capacity? We like to sometimes hold on to a good thing past where it needs to go. So should we have ended at season 3 and not take this whole thing 5 seasons? And was that just too much for it? Season 4 was a bit of a stretch. And then here we are with this. So maybe we just kind of overdid the thing. When fans tend to like things, we want more, we want more. And then we get it. We're often, dissatisfied with the end result. So let me know if that was the case for you with you. I think it really might have been because I think the first 3 seasons were pretty strong and 4 and 5, not as much. I'm all right with 5. It wasn't my favorite. It was better than 4, but I feel like I'm rambling and being a little redundant. So just get down in the comments and let me know your thoughts. I'm just trying to think if there's anything else I want to say. Because like I said, we saying goodbye to Joe. Ain't no more to it, baby. It ain't no throw your caps on for the good brother Joe. It ain't no more to it, but give me your comments and share this video. I'm just curious to talk to the people, to talk to my people, to talk to Joe's people. Okay. And if you're not Joe's people, that's fine too. Like I said, just be respectful down in the comments. This is a show. I don't really take it too seriously. So if you feel like Joe got justice, by all means, let your girl know. Okay. Because that's probably the best thing that could have happened to Joe. I think the writers were saying that they didn't want anybody to take him out and then, have the weight of that and then being responsible. So I get why they did it, Just it's this Joe show, so he was supposed to win. That's just my feelings on it. I hope that you will stick around for more content. I appreciate everybody ever so kindly for your support, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.